Hi, TikTok.
This is like my soul out there.
Us joking like that, I would be like, are they sociopaths?
You put one of your members on coconut.
Hey.
Are we okay?
What the fuck are you talking about? It's a dance video.
I am sorry you were offended.
The Drake Bell is that's crazy to hear. That is, man. And that never came out, which is really wild.
We got busy in quite a few places.
We did. To clarify.
I think we all need to vibrate higher for the future.
Dude, I ran through every Ned's cast member before I landed on Devin.
Somebody so unfunny, you can't help but like laugh along with them anyway.
I'm being called racist now. And that's the nuance of our time.
In my 27 years of life, I don't think I've ever seen a cringier downfall than the recent downfall of Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. The first episode of the Ned's podcast was able to garner over 1.9 million views, but now, because of all of the insane controversies the cast has gotten themselves into over the past year, they are now struggling to crack even 4,000 views per upload. You're probably wondering, hasn't that show been off the air for like 17 years? How did it just now have a downfall? Well, strap in because this video is going to get ridiculous. By the end of the video, let me know in the comments if your childhood is completely ruined. And while you're down there, make sure to subscribe to join the community. Devin Werkheiser, aka Ned, has publicly stated that he thinks a Ned's Declassified reboot is a no-brainer. And the only reason the show hasn't been picked up is because, quote, Paramount is in effing shambles.
So can we write something where we're all in it together?
Sure, well, how come there hasn't been a Ned's reboot? What's going on?
You know?
Do you know why?
No, I don't know. I honestly don't.
We don't either.
Okay.
Because Paramount's in fucking shambles, man.
Well, right
and
about
Nickelodeon
now, yeah.
can't get their fucking shit together.
That I know.
And I don't think they truly appreciate what a no-brainer doing something with the Ned's IP is. Like, I don't think they understand how emotional it is for the fan base and how ready the fan base is for something.
The show is so beloved. It's really one of the shows that is just, I'll list through some of the shows I know. Ned's Declassified?
Yeah. You're preaching to the choir, brother.
Okay. I'm sure you guys know this. Yes.
No, Scott and I pitched them a reboot. And we've had many talks with them, and they just cannot get it.
But after all the controversy Devin and Lindsay have gotten themselves into, and the way they have gotten the entire internet to hate them and the entire show, it is now a no-brainer to never reboot the show. Over the past year, Ned and Mose, emphasis on Mose, have single-handedly destroyed the Ned's Declassified franchise forever. And Daniel Curtis Lee, aka Cookie, is kind of just along for the ride. Recently, there has been a huge rise in nostalgic reboots on Paramount Plus like iCarly, Zoe 102, and Good Burger 2. Other companies like Disney have started to follow suit with Wizards Beyond Waverly Place and more. These nostalgic reboots worked because fan bases like Kenan and Kel fans or Wizards of Waverly Place fans had already been demanding to see a reunion of their favorite actors from these shows for years.
Ladies and gentlemen, wow. Welcome to Good Burger, home to Good Burger, part 2!
But what about when actors from shows no one ever really cared all that much about start to demand another round of fame? Now, I might be alone on this, but I genuinely like Ned's Declassified, just as much as all of the other shows that were on Nickelodeon at the time, between 2004 and 2007. Let me know in the comments down below if you are a fan of this show too. But from what I've seen, this next comment seems to sum up the general consensus of the show from the overwhelming majority of people on the internet. Devin seems to overestimate the importance of Ned's Declassified. He seems to think it was this big cultural cornerstone when in reality, it was just a show kids watched when they got home from school in between Fairly Odd Parents and Avatar. Now this probably cuts deep for Ned, but a lot of people are also saying that they never even cared about Ned and his friends. They only cared about Coconut Head, or my favorite character, the jock who spun the basketball in almost every single scene. The Ned's Declassified pilot first aired on September 7th, 2003. Nickelodeon picked up the show and the first official episode aired on September 12th, 2004. The final episode of the series aired on June 8th, 2007. The main characters were Ned Bigby, aka Devin Werkheiser, and his two friends Mose, Lindsay Shaw, and Cookie, Daniel Curtis Lee. In the show, Ned compiled tips to survive middle school. This pinned video on the Ned's Declassified official TikTok page pretty much sums up how cringy and off-putting this trio has become today.
In 5, 6, 7, 8, I am ready to be a hater.
Even though I was a Ned's Declassified fan, I can definitely admit that Devin is being a little bit too delusional about how much of an impact this show had on the world. Seems like the Ned's cast thinks them coming back to the internet has the same hype around it as a Big Time Rush reunion concert. And this might be Devin's first time finding out that Ned's Declassified was honestly just a show kids would flip to when the show they actually wanted to watch went to a commercial break. For example, this video uploaded to Devin's TikTok in September saying, "These three faces are synonymous with your childhood" is kind of strange. When I think back to my childhood, Ned, Mose, and Cookie are not the first things that come to mind. It's probably Patrick, to be honest.
It's been 20 years since Ned's Declassified premiered. 20 years since our faces became synonymous with your childhood. 20 years since I met these lifelong friends and started this journey that would change my life forever. If Ned were around today, I think he would tell you that growing up is complicated. Plays out in ways you can never expect. It's hard and confusing and can get dark. But every time you experience these challenging moments, the difficulty doesn't get smaller, but you grow bigger around it. And if you feel your feelings, stay hopeful, make good friends, be a good friend, and keep leading with your heart, growing up can also be a wonderful and worthwhile adventure. We had a very special, joyful experience making Ned's Declassified. Thanks for all the love, all these years later.
In 2023, Devin started forcing the issue to the public that we had to have a reboot of Ned's Declassified. By this time, people were already getting tired of reboots, and even the most anticipated Nickelodeon reboots were getting mixed reviews. But Devin refused to let it go, and he even got Mose and Cookie to get on board too. Devin wanted to create Ned's adult survival guide to help his now grown-up millennial and early Gen Z fans navigate through adulthood. He pitched the reboot to Nickelodeon, but got turned down immediately. Devin uploaded this TikTok on May 14th, 2021, explaining the reboot situation.
Hi TikTok, quick story time. For the last 2 years of my life, bringing the Ned's Declassified Adulthood Survival Guide reboot to life, it's been a huge goal of mine. Imagine Ned, Mose, and Cookie getting out of college, struggling through their 20s, bringing you tips on taxes, online dating, self-care, roommates, budgeting, all of it. I wanted it for you, I wanted it for me, and I thought it would be amazing to make a self-help sitcom for a generation that could use a friend. Cookie and Mose were on board, the original creator and producer Scott and Michelle Fellows were on board, but we don't own the rights to Ned's Declassified. So we pitched it to Nickelodeon and Awesomeness TV, who do own the rights to it, and they passed on it, and they won't let us take it to sell it somewhere else. So for now, the reboot's dead, and I'm really sad, and thanks for being fans.
Devin got a lot of positive feedback on this video from people who felt sorry for him, so he decided to run with it. At first, a lot of people were here for the nostalgia, but then it quickly took a turn when everyone started to realize that Ned's cast was kind of delusional about how famous their show actually was back in the early 2000s. And people started to feel like Devin was milking the show just a little bit too much.
Can Ned make a new survival guide? I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
That's funny. Wait. I don't know what I'm doing either. What am I doing with my life? What the fuck am I doing with my life?
I honestly don't think Devin ever had enough self-awareness to pull this entire thing off. Devin has clearly shown signs that he is completely out of touch with reality. When you're an internet personality, you have to have self-awareness, or else you'll end up making fun of SA on a live stream and inviting known racists onto your podcast. Oh wait, that's exactly what Devin did. Probably the worst controversy Devin has found himself in is the time he made fun of Drake Bell being SA'd by Nickelodeon dialogue and acting coach Brian Peck. Devin's live stream took place during the height of when everyone on the internet was discussing the 2024 documentary Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV, that exposed Dan Schneider and Brian Peck. Devin, for I don't know what reason, decided it would be a good idea to say this on his live stream, making fun of Nickelodeon on-set child abuse.
Daniel, I told you.
Daniel, we told you never to speak about that. Get back in your hole, Daniel, and give me your holes. Sorry, we shouldn't joke about this. We really shouldn't.
This is awful. Why are we doing this?
Because this is about us. Listen, our set was not like that. And no, it's f***ing awful. The Drake Bell shit is that's crazy to hear. That is man. And that never came out, which is really wild. Really wild.
Until he was talking about it.
Boop.
Boop.
Okay. Oh, so y'all were in on it. Oh, God.
Damn.
Wow. I'm not talking about this anymore. Not talking about this anymore.
No.
Guys, we can't joke like this. Jesus. Guys, we're sometimes humor helps us move through things, you know?
100%.
It's also pretty disturbing listening to the Ned's cast basically brag about how none of them were ever SA'd on their set, and making it seem like their show was so much better than all of the other shows because there was no SA. Devin's apology for these comments didn't really cut it for most people.
If you haven't seen what's going on, we were on a TikTok live being asked to comment on the Quiet on Set documentary, which we hadn't seen. And super shit joke came out that was referenced at Daniel and looked like I was talking about Drake, and it all overlaps, and we fucked up. I get it. We hadn't seen the doc, and everyone was asking us for our opinions on it.
On the TikTok.
Yeah. And I get it. Now having seen the documentary, like, it's so disturbing. I get they were asking,
and we had no clue of the magnitude of what they were discussing. We're also multitasking. I'm sitting there editing the sound. I thought we had lost all of the footage.
Now we've watched it, and I get it. If I had just watched, especially that third episode, and then watched us joking like that,
you would be upset.
I would be like, are they sociopaths? Actually, is something wrong with them?
Mm-hmm. So with that, get it clear, you guys were not speaking on that. You weren't talking about.
No, we hadn't watched. I didn't know wasn't sitting with the details at all. Like, I know what the joke sounds like, but I was talking to Daniel.
You were
in a way
talking
that we fucking do
to me while I was working. You know, people are like, Daniel, you're off camera. What was going on? I'm sitting there at the desk working on audio, super multitasking.
Yeah.
And that statement was directed to me in the extreme way that we disparage each other.
Yeah.
My constituents were just completely upset, and they wanted clear that we were not referring to that.
No, but we fucked up.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I get what it looks like. I get it. It's overlapping each other in the fucking
Horrible
worst
timing.
way.
And no, Devin, dancing behind Drake Bell at his concert can't make us forget what you said during the height of this whole Quiet on Set thing. If joking about your colleague getting SA'd wasn't enough to make the internet hate you, what about inviting the most hated TikToker to ever grace the TikTok platform on your podcast? In July 2023, while Devin was still fighting tooth and nail to get the Neds reboot off the ground, he made the few fans he still had on board turn against him by inviting only JS onto his podcast, Growing Up with Devin. Just take a look at the comments. The crossover that gets Ned canceled. This ain't it, Chief. I'm out. There's a reason she was canceled. Hey yo, I've supported every single one of your videos till this one, lol. I hope you really read and heed the comments, buddy. If you don't know, Only JS was exposed in February of 2021 for using racial slurs, crashing out when people called her racist, lying about using her platform to showcase black creators, beefing with countless other TikTokers, pretty much being a TikTok villain.
As you can see in the bottom of this screenshot, it says, I'm done talking to an N-word, hard R, loving a-hole.
Forgot to respond to an email from this creator that wanted to collab with me, and instead of just hitting me up again, they made 7 fucking videos about it! Can you please leave me the fuck alone? I have a diagnosed neurological disorder that makes me forget things and procrastinate due to time blindness. I forget to eat for days. I procrastinate sleep for more days. I barely text my family back, and I just had to move apartments because my address got leaked, and you're gonna throw a fit because I didn't make you my priority? Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna go get drunk as in Las Vegas to celebrate my 22nd birthday, and y'all can keep crying for my attention.
Bella Avila. I just learned your full name.
Yes.
What I know you as is your handle, which is Only JS.
Most people know me as that.
Yeah.
They don't even think I had it. They thought my name was JS.
Yeah. What's the what is it?
JS is an Indonesian word for somebody so unfunny you can't help but laugh along with them anyway. I thought it fit.
Since Devin already made such a big thing out of the Neds Declassified reboot, but it got turned down, he decided to make a Neds Declassified podcast instead, where the original cast would rewatch the show together and share their thoughts. The The podcast was picked up and managed by Christy Carlson Romano, aka Ren from Even Stevens and the voice of Kim Possible. The first video uploaded to the Ned's Declassified Podcast Survival Guide channel was this trailer from February 2nd, 2023.
Hello, everyone. I'm Devin Werkheiser.
Hey there, I'm Lindsay Shaw.
And I'm Daniel Curtis Lee.
And you might know us as Ned Mosen Cookie from Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide.
That's what I remember.
Guess what? We have a podcast now. Ned's Declassified Podcast Survival Guide, where we talk about the making of our favorite moments, things we remember from that time in our lives, and also tangents about our adult lives.
With such a helpful tip at the end of each one.
Helpful survival life tip.
It's like a tidbit.
We're still trying.
That part, you know?
We're gonna relive it so that you can relive it with us.
Every Wednesday.
Tune in.
You can't really have a reboot or reunion podcast without all of the main characters. But as soon as Lindsay got on board, we would really start to see the downfall of the Ned's Declassified franchise speed up. Lindsay went on a rampage on TikTok about how insane it was for Nickelodeon to refuse to allow Ned's Declassified to get a reboot. This rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and a lot of people took this as her comparing Ned's Declassified to Spider-Man. These Lindsay videos are hard to find because it's become a pattern that she'll crash out on camera, upload the video to TikTok, get canceled, go back and forth in the comments, cry in an apology video, and then delete all traces of that original video.
I just don't understand how Spider-Man can be remade 437,896 times and Ned's Declassified can't even get reboot once. Not even reboot once for a crappy TV movie. Just let us have a crappy TV movie.
Yep, you heard that right. Lindsay pretty much thinks Ned Bigby has as much cultural significance as Peter Parker, Spider-Man. The reboot was clearly already dead when Devin made the essay jokes, but Lindsay decided to stick a nail in the coffin with her gross behavior on the Ned's podcast. The original rewatch the show together idea for the podcast quickly went off the rails thanks to Lindsay. For some reason, she thought it would be okay to get on a podcast about a nostalgic kids show and use that as an opportunity to tell the world about her, quote, running through the entire cast, on set and in their cars, and talk about her and Devin's sexual interactions as minors. No one wants to hear that. On the podcast, multiple times, Lindsay has talked about giving Devin head, and Devin just sat by and allowed this to unfold, even though he was clearly uncomfortable. These clips quickly started circulating around the internet, with people labeling Lindsay as a gross, unhinged weirdo and a horrible person. People were saying their childhood was ruined and saying things like, no wonder no one wants to work with her. People also pointed out that, given this context, it's even more unsettling how the Ned's cast keeps saying their set was so much better than the other bad sets on Nickelodeon where kids got SA'd. If Lindsay was, quote, running through everyone on set, actually on the premises of the set, what else was really going on behind the scenes?
Dude, I ran through every Ned's cast member before I landed on Devin.
Damn.
Remember that?
The chosen one.
Like telling Theo that I liked him and we like held hands at the movies.
He's so mysterious.
And Rob.
Yep.
And then Dev was
Rob's
like,
funny.
hey. And I was like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, it reached that point where you were liked by all the boys.
Meaning she had breasts. Pamela Henderson.
Wait. Do you remember the first XYZ?
What are you going to ask on this podcast? What are you going to ask on this public podcast, Lindsay?
Do you remember that?
The first what? Which one, Lindsay?
The first one, Devin.
First what?
BJ.
I actually do. You really want to talk about this on the pod?
I just wanted to say that I felt like a failure from that point because
he didn't finish.
I know. Yep.
No.
You didn't. You didn't.
I don't remember this at all.
Oh my God. And I just remember being like, that's not how that's supposed to end.
Oh. I don't remember that at all, so I can't tell you like why or what was happening.
So which one do you remember? The one on the couch?
No, I remember the one in the backseat of your car. See, we can't talk about this on the pod.
Damn, they're numbered? This is great.
No, because to me that was the first one. Yeah, this is so fucked up. I can't believe you're bringing this up. Dylan's back there like, yes, this podcast is gold. Fuck, we can't. I'm so torn. Okay, fuck you. All right, so I remember for me.
Oh, it was her car.
Shit, how did we get that out?
Don't know.
She went full on Matrix.
Literally, she's like, no.
Wow.
Dude, I can't believe.
Busy. We got busy in quite a few places.
We did. To clarify for the pod, we never had sex.
Right?
Gnawing on it a little bit.
Right?
Were they just intrusive thoughts where you thought he went in there to beat it?
Babe, I promise you, he was hard when he went in there.
But he didn't strike me as a guy who would do that.
I know.
I feel like he just walked around with blue balls for the rest of the day.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know why I would.
Get off me.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like,
was that
I wish
your
I had.
blowjob?
I don't know. I don't remember.
From me.
The first one I remember is, like I said, is in the back of the car.
Okay.
Vaguely remember you kissing Rob while we were together.
No, I didn't.
Pretty sure.
No, I didn't.
Pretty sure.
Nope.
Yep.
When was
back
that?
in Georgia, and I got a call.
No, when was that?
Yep.
When and from who? If you got it from
you.
Rob,
Yeah.
from me?
Yeah.
From me personally.
Yep.
I
Hey,
called you up and I said, hey,
this thing happened.
I'd licked Rob. That's what I said?
Pretty much.
How was that even possible? Because there is no way that I would have even, like, no. I was too into you to do that.
Y'all were dating at the time? How long had you been in
dude.
Georgia?
No. I was too into you for that ever to have happened.
It happened.
No, it didn't.
I know it.
Yeah, but like, give me more context. Give me more context.
I was back in Georgia.
Yeah, but give me
We'd
more
been
context.
Together, you and Rob were hanging out. You shared in a kiss.
I don't think that that's true. I just can't see that happening.
I
like
know.
how I felt
Coconut
about
Head's a
Rob and how I
he's an
felt about
attractive
you.
man. He's an attractive man. I mean, I can't judge you. It is what it is. Hey.
Was I can't imagine that was me.
No. But you were into me. You called me to say like this happened. Like you weren't like I fucked him. Like we were kids. We hadn't whatever. But you were like yeah.
Oh my god.
You filthy animal. You put one of your members on
just a little
coconut.
Smooch.
I put this smooth skin all across
But as a kid, that was the beginning of the end. And you had one of these friends. Like I talked about in the other one.
I didn't.
Yep. You had this
they
friend.
egged
I
it
remember
on?
his name. Yep.
Who?
It was like Brett or Brent. This guy.
Brett Gaver.
Right? The same guy.
No, you had one of these friends for a minute, I don't know, from acting class or something, and you started to hang out as like friends, and it was like, that's not friends. And
Just take a look at all of the Reddit backlash from these gross, cringy, unnecessary conversations. They need to let it go, OMG. They won't though. The whole BJ sex episode was everywhere, and they need the attention it seems. That should have remained classified. At first, this was billed as a rewatch podcast, but it devolved into more general conversations. A lot of these conversations were about their sex life and substance abuse, some of it at the set of the show. Then they responded to the documentary Quiet on Set on TikTok Live with a joke, "Give me your holes." The documentary was about SA on Nickelodeon shows, and this didn't go over well. It was a horrible idea to make a Ned's reboot in the first place, because reboots can only happen if the general public still loves the original cast and wants to see them back. But the general public does not like Mose anymore and doesn't want to see her back. This is all because Lindsay Shaw was already no stranger to internet controversy, even before all of the weird oversharing on the podcast. I would like to assume Devin doesn't condone any of Lindsay's behavior, but it seems like he does exactly that. Just look at this picture Devin uploaded to his Instagram story last year. Little Ned coming 2024 at Lady M Shawsters. So yeah, it looks like Devin and Lindsay are both equally as attention seeking and are even willing to fake a pregnancy announcement to get buzz going about Ned's Declassified. If they are this desperate to get the adult survival guide show, why not just make a YouTube TV show on their own without Paramount? But back to Lindsay being one of the most hated Nickelodeon stars. In July 2021, Lindsay got a huge amount of backlash for making fun of this TikTok trend. Lindsay, of course, has deleted her original video making fun of the dance, but according to multiple people on Reddit who saw the original video 3 years ago, Lindsay allegedly captioned her video, #BlackPeople. Lindsay says her video wasn't racially charged in any way, but if that's true, why put #BlackPeople? In a thread from 2021, one Redditor wrote, she duetted the original creators and said, "What the F is this? Are we okay?" And then put #BlackPeople in the caption. She also went on Instagram after it happened and was crying. Hope this explains everything. When Devin did this dance trend, Lindsay said, "Get it," in the comments, but then all of a sudden the original video was a problem for her. Ironically, only Jace, Devin's controversial podcast guest, beefed with Aunt Karen, the creator in this next clip.
Hey, are we okay? What the fuck is this?
Hey, are you okay? Because you're doing a lot of hating on black content creators and black dance moves for absolutely no reason. Has things been a little tough since Ned Declassified? Or are you still hating on black creators like you used to on Cookie? Just wondering. Lindsay applauds her white co-star when he does the dance.
What the fuck is this?
But can't give the respect and the credit to the guys who made it.
Maybe Lindsay thought she was giving off the same energy in her video as Devin was in this video.
If I ask the girl for chapstick and she just pulls me in to kiss me,
But in reality, she just came across as racist and pretty weird, especially with that hashtag. This is what Lindsay had to say on her Instagram stories to defend herself for her actions. And of course, she had to cry hysterically for the camera.
That the hate in my inbox is not okay. Okay? I did not mean anything in any kind of way. I am learning every day, as I think everybody is. And this kind of hate just needs to evaporate from the planet, no matter who it's directed towards. Crocodile tears, no, dude. Like, this is like my soul out there. If you know anything about what I stand for or what I believe in, you know that it's not this. I am sorry you were offended. I think we all need to vibrate higher for the future. And I know I'm going to keep learning. I think, like, for my own mental health, I needed to take a step back from social media. I kind of felt like that anyway, but it's like, I'm not here to offend or belittle anybody at all. I thought that the millennial and Gen Z thing was a thing on TikTok. The intention wasn't that serious, y'all. So, yeah, I gotta just go off of here for a little while, but I appreciate you, I love you, and I'll be back. And I hope that I know more, and I hope we all have a little more compassion and understanding.
Yep, basically, if you take out all the nonsense, all she had to say was, "Poor me, I'm sorry you feel that way. I think we all need to vibrate higher for the future." Devin and Daniel took hits to their own reputations as well by defending Lindsay after this controversy. Here's what Devin had to say about Lindsay's reaction to the dance video.
All right, so first we have the story of Black TikTok, right? That white creators like Charlie D'Amelio and Addison Rae have gotten wildly popular and successful, doing things that Black creators created but aren't getting the credit or fame or success from. And so now we have a perceived racial bias and perceived microaggression. That's possibly a good opportunity for education of some ignorance that's being turned into hate and telling her to kill herself in her DMs. So people are out here standing for a principle and standing for people of color, which I get. But I'm also going to defend my friend's well-being, because friends don't get canceled in real life, and life's complicated. And can she maybe be a little ignorant and defensive and reactionary? Yeah, but I also love her and will defend her and stand for her success in this life, because that's what you do. And for that, I'm being called racist now. And that's the nuance of our time.
Under Devin's video, Daniel commented, "Well said, D. The world is both complicated and nuanced." A moment of unfiltered reaction gave the internet a chance to fit her into a fake box. Devin replied saying, "You know I love you, and you know what's real privately and personally." Then Daniel uploaded this now deleted video, which added even more fuel to the fire.
Hey, Lindsay, what it do? Yeah, it's me. Your one Black friend. Yeah, less society, tell it. Hey, so check this out. You done got yourself into a bit of a pickle, all right? You fumbled the hell out of that bag, right?
Daniel also shared his thoughts about the situation with TMZ.
No, I told her that she should, if she's going to respond to the negative comments claiming that she's racist, she's got to do something lighthearted, you know? But she didn't take my advice, and she went the crying route, and, you know, people feel like that's weaponizing tears and things like that. So, you know, it's just like a PR nightmare there. So I know a lot of people feel as though her responses to some comments were a little bit saucy, something like that. But you know, I didn't see anything racist, bro. I can't say that. And I sent Lindsay a text saying that, you know, maybe you could look into implicit bias courses to really see if there is some validity, because people were offended when she first sent me that video. I was like, yo, people are offended. You're gonna have to deal with it. Try to deal with it in a lighthearted way. She chose the cry route. I did not advise that. And, you know, people smelled blood in the water and it's time to eat. You know, they were ready to feast.
These Aunt Karen videos pretty much sum up why no one liked Devin and Daniel's responses to this situation.
The tears weren't needed. An apology was all that we were asking for.
But I'm also going to defend my friend's well-being.
Thank you for gaslighting us. We really appreciate it.
Daniel, aka Cookie, thought the best way to help Lindsay in this situation was to make a joke about how she can make it up to black people.
We advocate for reparations for American descendants of slaves. You're a genius. Oh.
Lindsay has done a lot more than just making fun of a dance to make the entire internet label her as an unhinged racist. After the dance video backlash, Lindsay was exposed even further as videos of her spewing racial slurs resurfaced. I actually watched this backlash unfold in real time, but TikTok has banned all of the evidence of Lindsay ever saying these things. I remember seeing a video in 2021 of Lindsay calling a waiter the N-word with my own 2 eyes. But the video has been completely wiped from the internet. The only trace I could find were these Reddit comments talking about the video. Apparently, this isn't the first time she's done some racist shit. One of her old friends is actually exposing her and talking about how she used the N-word on a server they had. Here's the ex-friend's TikTok. Looks like a video got deleted that was also about the Lindsay racist situation. The video linked in this comment is, of course, also deleted now. Here's another Redditor who saw the waiter video that I saw 3 years ago. I don't buy this apology after several of her ex-friends came out stating that she's always been racist and that she called a black man an effing N-word after he tried to pay for her dinner. I understand that we have to take what we see on social media with a grain of salt, but I think there are some serious racist issues beneath the surface that she needs to work on.
Hey, so I'm going to talk about the situation that happened a year and a half ago on TikTok with a TikTok that I made of a dance move. I stitched together a video criticizing the dance move and hating on the dance move. This video was made by 3 black men, and the content of the video got skewed towards skin color. And this is what I've learned in a year and a half, and it took me a super long time. Being a hater is not cool at all, no matter what. No matter what you're hating for, no matter, like, I was being a hater. You know, I was being a hater because in my mind, I knew what should have had. It had 17 million likes at the time that I saw it, right? Like millions upon millions of views. And in my mind, I judged the creation as something that shouldn't have had 17 million likes, right? Because it wasn't as clever, as intricate as what I thought was clever and should have that many likes, right? Like I, follow a lot of creators who, in my opinion, make masterpieces that are never recognized like that, right? And myself, like I want to be recognized as somebody. I put effort into these, and it was stuck in a mindset of thinking somebody has something that I want and they're not deserving of it, right? I feel as though I can't even speak on a situation that I co-created and was a part of, and I don't want to be scared of that or of anything. It's something that I have sat with and tried to do so much introspection on how to never let being a hater or jealousy ever affect my work again. And as to any other morally reprehensible behaviors you might have heard about me via hearsay, if we're going to hold people accountable for their blackout, addicted, mentally ill states, then hold me accountable. But I am doing living amends to hold myself accountable to that time, right?
Already knowing full well about all of this online controversy surrounding Lindsay and all the backlash even he himself received from being associated with her, I genuinely have no idea why Devin didn't see it coming that Lindsay would be the ultimate downfall of his Ned's Declassified reboot dreams. The reboot was already never going to happen, but now Lindsay is so hated online that it's definitely never going to happen. Now she's pretty much a walking meme. Lindsay has displayed a lot of really weird, off-putting behavior on the podcast, such as gaslighting Devin about their relationship, laughing in Devin's face about her cheating on him, oversharing about her problems, and just being insufferable to watch in general. There's a time and a place for everything, and I obviously feel bad Lindsay OD'd, but no one signed up for all of this oversharing about sex and drugs. Viewers thought this was supposed to be about childhood memories, not whatever this is.
So we didn't exclude you.
That was so fun.
Yeah, we used to just go make out all lunch.
Yeah.
And then they'd come and they'd have to redo our makeup. Just dry humping.
How far were you guys really going?
The Ned's podcast was dropped by their management recently in November 2024. And a lot of people assume it's because of Lindsay's horrible behavior and Devin's SA joke. And honestly, because of the fact that the entire internet hates Ned's Declassified now. Thanks to the weird podcast no one ever asked for. Like I mentioned, the Ned's podcast was previously run by Christy Carlson Romano. Christy has made a lot of content surrounding Even Stevens nostalgia, Kim Possible nostalgia, and has had a podcast with Chelsea from That's So Raven. So her dropping the Ned's Declassified cast abruptly would be pretty out of character. She clearly loves managing nostalgia content, but she obviously didn't sign up for all of the weird sex jokes. Now the cast is playing dumb about why Christy parted ways with them, just like how they played dumb about why they never got a reboot in the first place.
Ned's Pod is going through a change right now, and we kind of have been. So
we're under new management.
Yeah, it's us now, which will lead to varying results.
Oh yeah, results may vary.
Yeah. So basically, NESPod and Podco, we are breaking up amicably, right?
Yeah, we love them.
We're all going in different directions. They're dropping some shows, so we are now production company-less, but
we independent.
Yeah, which is cool. But it also means we have a lot to figure out in the next coming months. We definitely want to continue the pod in some form. We got to figure out what that looks like. Yeah. And so stay tuned for details for that.
It's honestly pretty sad to see how the Ned's Declassified podcast ended. Because when I first saw Devin's TikTok videos announcing that he was trying to get Ned's Declassified rebooted, I was genuinely excited. But this Ned's Declassified podcast was not what I was expecting. When you think about a nostalgia podcast, you do not think about the behind the scenes drug use and sex life of the 14-year-old cast. And finding this out 20 years later only destroys your image of them in your mind and ruins the show for you. It goes to show that actors are actors at the end of the day, and we can't get too caught up with their on-screen persona. Because in reality, they could be running through the whole cast and dropping slurs, and we would never even know. This has been the cringe downfall of Ned's Declassified. I want to know what you guys think about this insane situation, so let me know down in the comments down below if your childhood is officially ruined. Or if you've never really messed with Ned's Declassified that much to begin with, so you probably just don't care. While you're down there, you might as well subscribe and join the Bills Collectors. That's what we're calling ourselves now. I named it. We all named it. And if you made it all the way to the end of the video, put Bills the GOAT in the comments. This is the best community on YouTube, and if you joined it, hey, better for you. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.